Alrighty guys, this is going to be quite a loaded video. It is a video that I should have made over a year ago, and I'm going to be addressing a lot of different things, but this is the intro to an intro because I have to mention that this morning when I woke up, I received a legal notice from Katevolved and his team for attempting to take down a video that I posted over a year ago, and later on in the video we are going to go into that as well. So this is the intro to an intro, and here's the video I made yesterday. Alrighty guys, we are going to be going into something that makes me incredibly uncomfortable to talk about, but it's something that I have been avoiding for a few years. These dramas keep coming up back and forth from the same exact person who has been attacking me, attacking all of my friends over lies and lies and lies. And I thought that it was pointless to defend myself, so I just kept quiet. But at this point, after seeing Nightblue's video where he defended himself with proof against all these lies and accusations from these horrible, horrible creatures on Twitter that are trying to ruin our lives, ruin our reputations, I figured it is time to defend myself against this once and for all. In case you missed the drama, there is this evil creature named LS who has attacked me, Nightblue, Doanal, Charisma, Niece. Literally everyone in the community is being tortured and targeted by this guy who makes up all of these lies and false accusations just because on Twitter, if you do this kind of drama, you attack people, you get a bunch of likes, it helps spread your stream and your relevancy, but it's so incredibly messed up because he's literally attacking and trying to ruin people for his own benefit, and he himself has done so many horrible things outside of this that I'm probably going to end up leaking at the end of this video because I'm just so fed up with people like him being so messed up in the head to attack people just for a little bit of engagement. Or maybe he's so delusional he's convinced that what he's doing is right. But the problem is, and I can't speak for everyone else, but he has caused me so many sleepless nights of just pure anxiety and stress off of so many false accusations. And I'm going to be going into that, and I'm going to be showing proof to defend my name, and you guys need to know what type of person he is. So now I'm going to go into my own situation that has pretty much destroyed my name in the League of Legends community of Twitter and Reddit, which to be fair is already a horrible place. And now I'm going to be talking about the false allegations that LS made a year ago that has destroyed my name, has caused so many people to just stop talking to me, to hate on me, that I've previously been friends with or worked with, and it's just so disgusting.
Now, the other thing that I thought is really interesting is you cited other people have been doing this. So I went ahead and I looked at all the people that Professor Akali claims to have helped out, and I went through all their analytics, and most of the time they're actually dying, or they're pretty much the same. I'm showing it on my screen. I went through every single one. None of them experience growth, or if they do, it's nothing that could be directly translated or correlated with Professor Akali. So it seems really weird. In fact, some of them ended up quitting streaming and never had any success in the first place. Some of their videos... Is
that Twitch or YouTube?
Oh, it's everything. I looked at everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I went through every single person that I could find that he cited. I even went through YouTube videos where he cited other types of people, like Kocho, where he cited in the Katevolved drama video, right? Where he justified taking 50%, which was also sort of like fallacious in nature, right? The 100% thing that he says about Katevolved. So I went through that, and this guy just hits algorithm sometimes, but a lot of times he doesn't hit algorithm. So there's actually no direct correlation. Obviously, you're very aware that our community, being Lowly Sports Talks, right? There's a lot of behind closed doors conversations about shenanigans with Professor Akali and others, right? Yeah. So my reaction to this specific instance, as well as probably many others, probably stems from that. Stuff that, happens that has shady behavior, or, these contract prisons and all this other stuff, or whatever goes on.
So for anyone that doesn't know, I have a business where I manage content creators. I reach out to very small streamers, or most of the time they reach out to me, that have little to no following on Twitch and have zero YouTube channel or any desire to make a YouTube channel. So forgive me while I read off a script because I need my wording to be very specific. For those of you that don't know, I have a business where I manage content creators, specifically creators that only want to stream and don't want to do anything with YouTube content. I also make it very clear that it's for streamers that don't want to focus on YouTube in our initial interaction. I essentially create them their own YouTube channels. I promote it with giveaways, 1v1s. Not a single person I signed was making any revenue beforehand, nor had any interest in YouTube for that matter. This deal I was offering was specifically for streamers that wanted to be hands-off, and I always mentioned that in the initial message or call. I created their channel for them. I paid for the artist cost, the thumbnail cost, the editor cost. I helped them get montages to editors. I helped them with giant video lists of ideas. I went into games with them to help them get content when they needed it. I've community posted them. them. I've shouted them out and collabed with them countless times. I 1v1 them just to show off their skills. And I even switched up my entire main channel from stream highlights, which I just stream a few hours and then send it to an editor. Boom, I get 100K views. Life is great. I started doing collab videos where I could promote them and show the world their skill. These creators never touched their channels. Myself and the team I hired would literally do everything for them to make their lives as easy as possible. I signed creators at a 50-50 split for just their YouTube channels that I fully ran. No Twitch, no outside sponsors, just everything from YouTube. And I easily could have taken a higher percentage, and justifiably, for the amount of work I was doing, the value I was providing, and the money I was losing. Keep that in mind. I have lost thousands on managing channels from creators that for one reason or another just never got the ball rolling, and I can't control if a creator is willing to stream without copyright music. You know who you are, it's all good. I can't control if a creator wants to take a 3-month break from the game. However, and this is the most important part, I've only ever made money for the people I've worked with. They have never spent a dime on anything, ever. I covered everything and all the costs. And I don't even take the costs away, editing, thumbnails, etc. I don't take that away from their profit even. I just take the loss. And even that, the expense of editing when needed. So one thing that people like to attack me for without any understanding is that there is a 200K buyout for the 2-year duration of the contract. That was just to protect myself from putting in a ton of work promoting the creators, making them these giant channels, and then having them decide to leave out of nowhere, taking all the benefits I gave them and scam me. You have to keep in mind, I was paying for everything. I was taking a risk by growing them, managing them. I wanted to receive benefits after I made them successful. And on that note of the 200K buyout, there were 8 different creators, which I will go into, that have signed a contract to be managed by me. They either left early, they ghosted me, or whatever, and I could have sued them all for a collective of 1.6 million US dollars. And easily won, by the way. These were contracts that were notarized and signed at a legal office. These were legally bound contracts that were notarized. But I have never sued anyone in my life. I was just told to do that 200K thing by a contract lawyer because he said it would be helpful to avoid getting screwed over. And I still stand by that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, especially considering the contract is 2 pages long, and I talk about that. I tell them in the initial message. And one last thing I want to mention is that I am in the business of making as much money as possible legit because I have the right to. And really quick on that note, in the past, I have literally terminated a long-term 6-figure energy drink sponsor just because I found out how horrible it is for your health. I didn't want to promote it to my viewers. I've been offered 10 to 15,000 for these stupid MMO, crypto, NFT world games just for a single video promoting it. I've turned that down every single time. So here's the honest to God situation. LS has a best friend named Forrest Within, who is also just one of the worst people I have ever seen in social media. This is someone who I've offered to manage in the past. I have never said anything bad to him, and even the very last thing I ever sent him was asking him if he wanted to be in a video of mine. Forrest Within tried to be a streamer a few years ago. He never got anywhere and he inevitably gave up. I'm about to show you guys a list of people that I signed and managed, and I can only imagine the reason why he attacks me so often and says I scam people is because of the fact that I signed so many of his friends, and they all went from 10 to 20 viewers on Twitch to thousands of viewers, and they all went from no YouTube channels to very, very successful YouTube channels, while he was left behind salty and just decided to be so upset with me because he decided he didn't want to work with me. So now, because of these types of horrible people, and because I'm not this giant company, I'm just a single person that was trying to run a business, I now have to share my business with all of you guys to defend myself over some BS lies from some actual horrible people. Here is the full list of people that I manage. I'm going to go through it very quickly. Fogged for the Win 2. I'm still managing him. I've been to his wedding. I've skipped countless dinners, parties, family events to help him record and post videos over so many years. I know he's very happy with our partnership. Number 2, Zwag. He is the biggest League of Legends YouTuber right now. I created his channel. The second video I posted for him got 1 million views, and after many months, we mutually broke the contract. He's still being managed by my good friend Heisman, and yeah, he's literally the biggest YouTuber. Number 3, Chase Shako. We instantly brought him up to a 50K view average in just a few videos. I think his third video got 800K views or something, but we mutually had to break the contract because he didn't want to stream without copyright music, and I ended up losing a lot of money on him, and it was a lot of potential, but it's okay. He wanted to break it, so we decided to break it. I didn't sue him or anything. I understand. Number 4, Armando Lol. He ghosted me after many months of work. I didn't sue him for 200 grand. Actually, he took the YouTube channel and we built him up, and he decided to delete all of his League of Legends videos, and he posted 2 cooking videos out of nowhere. That was weird, but I didn't sue him. Number 5, Low Pally. He reached out to us. We mutually had to break the contract early because of low results. I lost a few $1,000s on him. Number 6, Wave the Tempest. I created his YouTube channel for him. I gave him the idea to make another channel, but after a drama a year ago, he wanted to break the contract early. I didn't sue him for 200 grand. I gave him the YouTube channel that I built him, promoted, and all that stuff, just completely for free. Number 7, Minko1. He reached out, he wanted to break the contract early, and once again, I didn't sue him for 200 grand. I let him go. I let him do his own thing before the 2 years, and he was very appreciative. And you can see this screenshot right here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate what you guys have done. Blah, blah, blah. You can read the whole thing. Number 8, Metaphor. He was doing very well in League of Legends while we were managing him, but he decided to quit for Call of Duty. We mutually terminated the contract early, and he was very appreciative of the work that my former partner put in. Number 9, Fui. We made him his YouTube channel. He had low results after several months, so we mutually terminated his contract early. We gave him his channel, and now he has a successful Pokemon Go channel. And I'm very happy for him. And once again, I didn't sue him. Number 10, Charisma. I gave him a YouTube channel I owned personally from the past with 200,000 subscribers because I wasn't using it anymore, and I took nothing from him at the end.
Professor Akali, by the way, for everyone who has this hate boner for Professor Akali, you can have your opinion. But if you're talking about what he does is scummy, the people he's worked with has been me, Fogged, Swag, a couple others, but majority of the time, he has nothing but our best interest in hand. I signed a contract with him. He essentially blew me up. He got me where I am for nothing. The money I was making on YouTube was good, and then he said, you know what, you can keep it. You can have the channel. You can have everything. And I was like, oh, okay. The things he's done for me has genuinely been the nicest anyone in this community has done for me, because when I was at my lowest point and I was such a bad person because of outside of league issues, he was the nice person to me.
Number 11, Willie P. He kind of stopped replying to us completely. He went to go pursue college. We didn't sue him or anything. He just decided to move on. Number 12, Lol Harambe. He wanted to focus on music. After many months of working with him, promoting his channel, he decided that he wanted to go focus on music instead of League of Legends, and we agreed to mutually terminate the contract early, no issues at all. And finally, number 13, Duanel. He reached out to me a while ago, but because of the stress from Ellis and his band of horrible people that just attacked me, I didn't want to do this anymore. It just wasn't worth the hassle. I just was dying on the inside, dealing with all this hate for no reason. I ended up just not having it in me, or I didn't have enough energy to help Duanel reach his full potential, so I decided to part ways with him. I gave him his YouTube channel that we made him, and he was very appreciative, and he completely understands. And I will say that he is my absolute best friend online right now. So here's what Duanel said back last year. I just wanted to thank you guys for everything. I know that starting with a fresh account didn't really end up paying much and was more of a burden on your end than it was worthwhile, but I will still always be grateful for the opportunity you guys gave me. Love you guys. So yeah, this is the type of relationship I have with the people I manage. I don't scam them or abuse them. The only person that abuses people in this whole thing is LS and Forrest, but we're going to move on. And the last thing I want to mention is this twit longer from Duanel after the initial drama where people were saying that I was scamming people. You guys can feel free to read through this and pause it if you want. I'm just going to go to the point where he mentions me right now. So in June and July, I started talking with Duanel. I started his YouTube channel. At that time, I was still only about 100 viewers with no real following. Me and Professor Akali talked over the contract for about a month before we got into a state where it was good for both parties, and then I signed. Thus commenced the start of daily uploads on my YouTube channel. Keep in mind, I have been on Charisma's auto host for months, and Professor Akali is paying for thumbnail creators and dedicating resources and money towards my YouTube channel that was barely hitting 100 views a video. Keep in mind, 100 views is like 1 cent or 10 cents. I can't do the math. And it takes several 100,000 views to even get monetized. In September, I entered somewhat of a depressive episode that spanned several weeks. Every single video uploaded in that time frame was just me sitting in front of my computer with no engagement, with copyright music playing. Professor Akali was making no money by keeping me signed and had the opportunity to terminate the contract, yet instead he showed compassion and kept dedicating resources to my channel. Even though I wanted nothing to do with the entire social scene anymore, he would still comb through my OPGG to find some games where he'd pop off to upload on YouTube, regardless of whether or not they were monetizable or not. He had the potential to end the contract and instead dedicated his time towards other creators who could use the resources better, but he still stuck with me and told me we were going to make something of it. He would also ask me regularly if things were going all right in my life, and I still remember one time we were supposed to do a YouTube collab with one another, but instead talked about life for 2 hours when I told him things were going badly. I eventually started putting more effort into my YouTube channel since I didn't want all of Professor Akali's efforts to be wasted, and have now grown it to a level that I never would have had the motivation or capability to do otherwise. You guys can pause if you want to read the rest, but I'm going to exit out now. And I think it's a very clear difference in the size of the creators between the people that stuck around with me and the people that quit on me. And all this stuff aside, I have never scammed anyone in my entire life except for in RuneScape and WoW back when I was like 13. The last thing I want to mention is that back a year ago, LS was attacking me for being a scammer, even though I had never said anything about him. And throughout that hour-long stream of him flaming me, saying that I'm a scammer, he brought up 2 names of people that I have never managed. I've never had a business interaction with them, and I don't understand why he included them. I'm going to talk about that right now. He mentioned that Thales, who is a former Katarina streamer, and Kocho Katarina, a Katarina YouTuber, were people that I managed. The only thing I did for Thales was I helped him get his story out, and I gave him a shout out after he was being bullied by Katevolved into quitting streaming and near suicide. Basically, Katevolved was telling him to kill himself. He was calling him homophobic slurs and all these other horrible things just because he streamed Katarina, and he essentially wanted all of his Katarina competition dead. That's just how it is. I'm not trying to bring up that drama either. He's also just a horrible human. And then the second person is Kocho Katarina. The only thing I did is I liked a video he made so much that I decided to shout it out for no financial gain. All I did was shout it out in a video I made titled, "I played Katarina for 30 days, here's what happened." Yet he's saying that I managed him and then flaming me for his infrequent uploads. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Here's some other notes of stuff that I'm not even going to go into. You can read it if you want. So even though that stuff is in the past, I have been getting flamed relentlessly and just told that I'm this horrible person that preys on these smaller creators and tries to ruin their lives and make them have to quit. It's just so fucked up to say that stuff when I care so much about the people that I manage. I've gotten so close with so many of the people I've managed throughout the years, and obviously not all of them, for one reason or another, we don't always bond, but I always care about the people I try to help, and it's so fucked up that people are saying anything else than that. And obviously this was a while ago, and between the stress from all the IRL stuff that I mentioned a year ago, and the fact that I was almost at 1 million subscribers and just wanted to get my plaque and then quit League, that was my mentality. I mean, can you blame me being in this community? I didn't think I was ever going to bring any of this up. I just stopped doing the management thing for most people. I just stopped recruiting people to manage. I became so jaded to this whole thing, which is completely wrong because I feel like now I'm realizing that I've let the bullies get exactly what they want. And that is going to lead into the current day drama. I made a video about LS promoting a gambling scam a few weeks ago. Basically, he was promoting a company that not only had streamer bets, which is ruining high elo. Like, high elo is at the point where it's not even real. It's a marketplace for win traders boosting and streamer bets. People will literally bet on a streamer, snipe them, and then throw the game. It's so fucked, and it's been ruining the game. And now we are going to go into the very last part of this drama, because obviously LS has no defense. He is never going to reply or apologize for any of this. He's never going to reply and apologize for anything he's ever done to Nightblue, Dueno, Charisma, all the people's lives he's tried to ruin. He's never going to confront it, but I am. So after I defended Nightblue on Twitter, here is something that LS tweeted. Professor Akali, a few weeks prior, DMing the same exact website to get sponsorship that he's now trying to witch hunt me for, smiley face exclamation mark. And it is a real screenshot of me DMing the company asking if they were doing influencer partnerships, because once again, I have no opposition to gambling. It's just about promoting a scam and obviously the streamer bets. I didn't look into this website. I've seen people like LS promoting it. I've seen other content creators promoting it, and that is how I reached out in the first place. That's how I found out about them. Keep in mind, and I'm about to show you guys my DMs, between my manager and I, we reach out to a few dozen companies a month asking if they're interested in doing influencer promotion or sponsoring, because it would be really dumb not to. Most of my income is made from sponsors. I'm not going to be doing the research or the due diligence until I actually have contact with the company. And I'm going to show you guys I'm not interested in scamming people. I am literally just interested in finding companies to work with, and then I do my research after. I'm not going to spend all day looking up the entire history of a company. But you best believe if I make contact with them or they reach out to me, I do my due diligence, which is why I haven't taken so many sponsors in the past. So here's that initial message. You can see that there are also other ones. For example, I believe this is one that Midbeast is promoting. I'm trying to make money. Once again, I've never had an issue with promoting any form of gambling. I actually love poker. Speaking of that, so this is from from a month ago. This is PokerStars. Hi there, is your company interested in doing sponsored for content creators? Another gambling one. Wait, what about this one? All right, this is from a few years ago. So a few things on that whole situation. Number one, I expect nothing less from a slimy gambling website to send our DMs to LS so you can use as drama. Very professional, of course, to be expected from a bunch of scam artists. Number two, LS continues to avoid the fact that he is literally promoting a scam, and unfortunately, his viewers, I don't know if they're smart enough or care enough to realize this. It's League of Legends Twitter after all, so very low opinion to be completely honest with you, but that is my explanation for that. This is gonna be the point where things get really personal. This man has attempted to ruin my life, and while he really hasn't succeeded, he has made me feel an amount of anxiety and pain and stress that no other person has ever caused. He is truly the devil because part of my job is my image, and the fact that he is coming after me, my livelihood, because he wants a little bit of extra Twitter engagement, likes, and all that stuff is so fucked up. He is so fucked in the head for that. Truly, I know it's coming off as toxic, but I have no other way of putting it. It's just so wrong for so many reasons, and now I have to defend myself. And I wasn't strong enough back then, and I wasn't strong enough a year ago when this all happened to do this, but there's everything I could say about that. And now I am going to be sharing a few things to wrap up this video. Ellis was the Cloud9 coach for a few weeks, and his image on Reddit and Twitter, which are the communities that ProPlay cares about mostly. Ellis was the head coach of Cloud9 for a few weeks before he was suddenly fired. People didn't know the reason he got fired for, and he said he was taking legal action against Cloud9 for getting fired, but that's all a lie, and obviously nothing ever came of it. He was just saying that to make it not seem like he did anything wrong, where I'm about to explain everything he did. What I'm about to tell you is from 3 separate Cloud9 employees, one of them being management, as well as an actual LCS player. And keep in mind, if I wanted to lie about this stuff, I could. I'm not like LS. I'm just going to share what I know about the situation. He was kicked off of Cloud9 for a few reasons. 1, he was incredibly disrespectful to the employees and LCS members. 2, he never showed up to scrims. He would lie about his whereabouts, and when he was confronted by Jack about the whole situation, he lied directly to his face, disrespecting him when security camera showed otherwise, and that was the final straw. There's so much more I want to say, but I'm just going to leave it at that. I just want to be left alone and be able to engage in the community that I have been a part of for 13 years now, for literally half of my entire life, and I don't want to be told I am this horrible person, and I don't want to have thousands of people every week talking trash about me, sending hate. I've gotten death threats, my family's gotten death threats, because there are some seriously fucked up people in the League of Legends community, and Ellis is the leader of them. And while I have no interest in changing any of his viewers or fans' minds, I do need to defend myself for the people that are smart enough to think for themselves and realize that not everything you hear is real or truthful in any way. And in fact, the type of people that are always attacking others, Ellis attacking me, Nice, Duenel, Charisma, Nightblue, so many pro players, countless others, those are the types of people that are actually the worst, that project their horrible, horrible insecurities about their own lives, try to bring others down to their own level mentally. It's not even about business at this point, because he does very well for himself in his career, being a provocateur, but this has gone on long enough. This is so fucked up, and I am making a stand for myself. And you know what? I don't know how this could, but it happens every time. If this whole thing backfires, well, at least I tried and I stuck up for myself. Alrighty, so now that we've gone through all that stuff you just watched, hopefully you can see that I'm not this horrible person that everyone makes me out to be. But speaking of horrible people, we are going to move on to Katevolved. So I woke up to this email. We have received a copyright infringement notification below regarding your videos. This is just from YouTube. You guys can pause it and read if you want. But this is the original notice from Katevolved and his team. Greetings. It has come to our attention that a video on your service is violating the copyrights of Beyond LLC as licensed copyright agent for artist Katevolved. The following YouTube link contains material which is copyright pursuant to US law. And I'll show this in a bit. There is copyrighted footage being used without right of usage or distribution. This content was stripped directly from twitch.tv/Katevolved. No, it wasn't, by the way. I have a good faith belief that the use and distribution of this material is not authorized by the copyright owner, the copyright owner's agent, or applicable law. So basically, his team, his agent, himself, have all decided that they wanted to come after me, try to get my YouTube channel a strike and suspend it over what is so batshit crazy. We're going to go ahead and just watch the video right now. So this one has a period on the end. So we're just gonna click this one instead and go to a minute. What could have been so bad that a year later, he wants to suspend my channel, open up a false copyright strike, a false legal notice? What could it be? You can see, yep, 8 seconds. 8 seconds long. This is him using a macro to spam "I hate the N-word." That is the only part of this 9-minute video, this 8 seconds, and he is trying to say that I took that content from him, I stole it, and it's not fair use. Despite what Katevolved and his team of idiots has to say, we're going to look at the actual US law. So, title US Code Section 107, Limitations on Exclusive Rights, Fair Use. Notwithstanding the provisions of Section 106 and 106A, the fair use of copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction in copies or phonorecords, or by any means specified by that section, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, blah, 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 blah. I use this for criticism, therefore it falls into fair use. But, Mr. Katevolved, if that's not enough for you and your band of idiots you hired, I'm sorry about that, by the way, you wasted your money. This is from Section 3 of the YouTube Terms of Service. The amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. Borrowing small bits of material from an original work is more likely to be considered fair use than borrowing large portions, but if what's borrowed is considered the heart of the work, sometimes even a small sampling may weigh against fair use. There you go. So now the question is, why is he doing this to me over a year later? And I'll tell you the exact answer. In case you're unfamiliar with any of the drama in the past with him, essentially, he hates all Katarina mains. He pretty much, I'm not going to go into it, but he just despises all Katarina mains to the point where he tries to bully them into quitting the game, into other things, and I'm just going to show an example of that right now. So that's what I'm dealing with on top of all this other stuff, and it is completely overwhelming me, but I don't fucking care anymore. I'm going to start standing up for myself, and yeah, that was that.